Hey everyone, it's Lori from Scraps by Sissy. Welcome to another fabulous Friday video. So the holiday catalog's been live for a week. What do you think? I don't know about you, but I'd like to have about one of everything and about 5 of all the consumables like the paper and the embellishments and the ribbon, and I love everything about the catalog. So today we're going to focus on the Painted Harvest stamp set. Actually, I know when everybody first thinks of this stamp set, you think automatically of the sunflower and the leaves, but we're actually just going to focus on this sentiment, and we'll use the little acorn on the inside of the card. You're also going to be using the new decorative ribbon border punch. You're going to have get to use some of the new black rhinestone jewels. They're not just for Halloween. The cardstock you'll need is Early Espresso, and it's cut at 4 1/4 by 11. It's scored at 5 1/2. You'll need a piece of Very Vanilla at 4 by 5 1/4. A piece of the Designer Series paper, and this is from the Painted Autumn Designer Series paper, and it's cut at 5 1/4 by 2. You'll also need a piece of, just a scrap piece of Early Espresso, at least 5 1/4 in length to trim the border with. And then we're also going to use some of the Very Vanilla twine. So let's get started. We'll first cut the border, or punch the border. Basically what I do is I take whatever the length is and try and put it in the middle of the punch. And it's easier if you use this on the table because this is a pretty stiff punch. And then you can see the pattern on the punch. Just move it over and match the pattern, and make sure this back piece here is flush so that this whole pattern is covered. And then it cuts it right to the end. And then I just bring it back down to this side and match the pattern again, making sure that that edge is flush with this lip on the punch. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Now we'll do our stamping. Like I said, we're just going to use this sentiment. Your kindness means so much more than you will ever know. And we're going to use the Early Espresso ink. The nice thing about this stamp set, it is a photopolymer, meaning it's clear, so you can see exactly where you're going to be stamping. Make sure I get it in the shot for you. And you want to get it all the way to the edge. So once you've stamped this, just set it aside. Now I'm going to take the piece of Designer Series paper and just run a piece of the fast fuse down along the edge. I want just a little bit of the scallop edge to show. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to use a piece of the twine, and I'm going to wrap it around. I'll leave a long edge to my left. Wrap it around twice, and then I'll tie my bow. And once you've tied your bow, if you need to adjust it, it always helps to hold your thumb down on the knot so that it keeps the twine from twisting as you pull it tighter to make the bow a little bit smaller and more even. And then trim your edges. Okay. And now we'll just adhere that down. It is a little close, but that's okay. I'm just going to add this to the designer series paper right where the little acorns meet. I'm using the smaller ones. You just want to put on a few. This gives it a subtle bling. Okay. There we go. So for the inside piece, I used early espresso for the bottom piece of the acorn, and I stamped off and stamped it in the corner. And then for the top of the acorn, I brought in some crumb cake, inked it up, stamped off with that too, and then stamped it to the acorn. And that just brings the theme of the acorns into the inside of the card. You could stamp it with whatever sentiment you wanted, or if you wanted to write a note, that's great too. So there you go. Quick and easy card. Thanks for stopping by. Go to scrapsbysissy.com for a list of all the supplies used for this card, and it'll also give you a link to my store so you can order yours online. Have a great Friday. Bye.